Okay, so today we're gonna dive into something kind of interesting.
Okay.
We're going to Hawaii,
Yeah.
and we're gonna look at a clinic there, an urgent care clinic called Doctors of Waikiki.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, so this is interesting to me because I've always been fascinated by sort of like these smaller clinics that are really serving a community in a really great way.
Yeah.
So we have this article called Pasted Text
Okay.
that goes into detail about how Doctors of Waikiki got started.
Yeah.
And you know, kind of their whole philosophy and everything.
So like their origin story.
Yeah, their origin story.
Okay.
And the founder, Dr. Tony Trpkovski.
Okay.
So what's interesting is like, this isn't just like, you know, they open the doors and people come in. It's like, there's like
Right.
there's a real vision behind this whole thing.
There is.
So what we're going to do today is really understand what makes this clinic tick.
Right.
Like, what's the vision behind it?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, how does this relate to kind of this bigger picture of patient-centered healthcare?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. So first of all, the clinic was established in 2018,
2018. Okay.
but you know, it's more than just like a date.
Right.
It's about the person who actually had this vision.
Exactly.
And that's, Dr. Tony Trpkovski.
Yeah.
And he's described in this article as, you know, more than just a physician.
Oh, really? Like
He's a holistic, yeah, like healer, leader, innovator. He's got this passion for medicine and this commitment to care.
Wow.
You know, so it's like right away you're like, oh, okay, this is different.
Yeah. This is somebody who really cares
Right.
about the people that he's treating.
Yeah.
Right.
So his core mission was to blend world-class medical services with the warmth and hospitality that defines Hawaii.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Right? Like you get a sense of the intentionality right away.
You really do.
Yeah. So why was that his mission? You know, what gap was he seeing?
You see what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like he realized there was a need for an urgent care clinic
Mm-hmm.
that was both easy to access and efficient.
Right.
So, you know, a place where people could get quick medical attention
Sure.
for, you know, a whole range of issues.
Yeah.
Without having to wait, you know, like you would in a hospital emergency room.
Yeah. It seems like, you know, most people, if they don't have like a life-threatening emergency, they don't want to go to the ER.
Right.
If they can avoid it.
Exactly.
Right.
And also I think there's a lot of people who just don't have like a regular primary care physician.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So, you know.
Yeah. So this provides like a nice in-between.
Right.
You know.
And his vision was really clear, like to provide top-notch care in a welcoming environment
Okay.
where patients would feel valued, respected, and genuinely cared for.
So not just like a doctor's office.
Right. Like a place where you feel comfortable. Yeah. And you know, they had some pretty big goals,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they wanted to do urgent care, primary care, pain management, even immigration medical exams.
Oh, wow. So like a really full spectrum.
Yeah. It was like, let's just put everything under one roof and make it as easy as possible for the patients.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah. And the article says that Doctors of Waikiki became the largest and most advanced urgent care clinic in Hawaii.
Really?
So clearly, like, that vision resonated, right?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he really tapped into a need in that community.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
and it wasn't just, you know, like a little tiny operation. They became like a really big part of the healthcare system there.
Yeah.
So, you know, the article talks about how the clinic itself, like the building and the way it was designed,
Yeah.
you know, it's more than just a medical facility.
Okay,
It's
right.
like a testament to this guy's commitment to excellence.
I see.
And one of the things that really struck me was that they had all this advanced technology from the very beginning. So they had like digital x-ray and in-house lab.
Oh, wow. So they didn't have to send stuff out.
Right. And what does that mean for the patient?
I mean, it sounds like that's got to be super convenient.
Yeah, like rapid diagnostics.
Yeah.
So they can figure out what's wrong with you faster and, you know, can start treating you faster.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not feeling well.
Right.
You don't want to have to go to a bunch of different places.
Yeah, you just want to be in and out and get taken care of.
Absolutely.
So, another thing that's really interesting is that they're open 7 days a week, including holidays.
Oh, wow. That's...
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's really good.
Because, you know, when you have an urgent care need, it's not always going to be like Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
Right. You never know when you're going to need a doctor.
Yeah. So that makes them like an indispensable part of the community.
Exactly.
You know, especially in a place like Waikiki where you have, you know, so many tourists and stuff.
All
It's like,
right.
yeah, we're here for you.
That's a real sense of security for residents and visitors.
Yeah, and they also have this really cool emphasis on inclusivity.
What do you mean?
So they have a multilingual staff.
Oh, wow.
So they have people who speak Japanese, Chinese, Korean, Spanish, French, Slavic languages.
Wow.
You know?
That's amazing.
And English, of course.
That's really thinking ahead.
Yeah, because Hawaii is such a diverse place.
Yeah, you've got so many people coming in from all over the world.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, they're really thinking about, okay, what are the needs of our patients?
Yeah. I mean, that just makes people feel so much more comfortable
Right.
when they can speak to somebody in their own language.
Yeah, especially when you're not feeling well.
Exactly.
The last thing you want to be doing is trying to
struggling to communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've talked about how, they were established, they have this clear vision, they're accessible.
Yeah.
They have all this technology, they're inclusive. So let's talk about the actual services they provide.
Right.
Like the comprehensive care that they offer.
Okay.
So first of all, urgent care, right? That's like their bread and butter.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And it's kind of like that space between like your primary care physician and the emergency room.
Right.
So, if you have a minor injury or an acute illness, like you don't need to go to the ER, but you need to see somebody.
Right. Yeah. Like right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
They also have this thing called Primary Care Plus.
Primary Care Plus, what's the plus for?
I think it's like primary care, but like more.
Oh,
okay.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they have flexible scheduling, including weekends,
Oh, that's good.
because a lot of times it's hard to get in to see your doctor.
Yeah, everybody's busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they also do chronic disease management and preventative care.
So they're really trying to keep people healthy.
Yeah, they're not just like, putting a Band-Aid on the problem.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let's try to help you stay healthy in the long run. And then they also offer pain management as a specific service.
Pain management.
Yeah, so they acknowledge that chronic pain can be like a really big problem.
Sure.
And they want to provide expert solutions that are tailored to the individual's needs.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So it's like, they're not just like, oh, here, take these pills. It's like, okay, let's figure out what's really going on and how can we help you?
Yeah, that's a really delicate area. So, having that expertise is
Right.
really valuable.
Yeah. And then they also do immigration medical exams.
Oh, wow.
So they're a trusted provider for USCIS exams.
Okay.
So that's United States Citizenship and Immigration Services.
Got it.
So if you're, trying to immigrate to the U.S., you have to have a medical exam, and they're like a trusted provider for that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like one-stop shop.
Yeah. And it can be a really, stressful process.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to have like a place where, you can go and it's going to be seamless and efficient,
Right.
it's really helpful.
Yeah.
Makes a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about this before, but they also have, laboratory and imaging services right there in the clinic.
Yeah.
Digital x-ray lab.
Yeah.
So again, quick and accurate diagnostics.
Exactly.
You don't have to go anywhere else.
Makes it so much easier for the patient.
Right.
Yeah.
And then finally, they have wellness and preventative care.
Oh, okay.
So things like vaccinations and physical therapy.
So they were really trying to cover it all.
Yeah. They're invested in your long-term health.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's not just about fixing the immediate problem.
Right.
It's about preventing future problems.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, all of these services are great.
Right.
But what really sets them apart, I think, is their philosophy.
Okay, what's their philosophy?
So they have this patient-centric philosophy.
Okay.
Which is really their core value.
All right.
And it's all about, unwavering commitment to patient care.
Mm-hmm.
A culture of empathy and respect. Yeah, and it's really about listening to the patient.
Oh, wow.
Taking the time to understand their concern.
It sounds so simple, but it's so important.
It is.
Yeah.
And that creates a sense of trust and comfort.
Right, because when you're going to the doctor, you're often feeling pretty vulnerable.
Right.
Yeah, so to feel like somebody's really listening to you
Yeah.
can make a huge difference.
Yeah, and the article mentions all these testimonials from patients
No.
who are praising the professionalism, the kindness, the efficiency of the staff.
That's awesome.
So it's like, it's not just talk.
Yeah,
It's actually happening.
it's the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've gotten some recognition for this too.
Oh, yeah. What kind of recognition?
So they were named Small Business Persons of the Year
Wow.
for Honolulu County by the Small Business Administration in 2023.
That's a huge honor.
Yeah. And this is a big deal because it means that they're not just, making money.
Right.
They're actually contributing to the community.
Yeah, they're making a difference.
Yeah.
That's great.
And, the mayor of Honolulu, Rick Blangiardi, and Senator Sharon Moriwaki were both there at the award ceremony.
Wow.
To, acknowledge the clinic's impact.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's like they're really woven into the fabric of the community.
Right.
And their service area goes beyond just Waikiki.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they serve Kahala Ala Moana, Kapahulu, Kaka'ako, Kamuki Manoa.
So like a big chunk of Honolulu.
Yeah. And Dr. Trpkovski wants to keep going.
Oh, yeah.
His vision is to expand and enhance the clinic's services.
That's great.
He's all about innovation and patient care.
It's nice to see that he's not just resting on his laurels.
Right.
He wants to keep getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's really like a pretty amazing story.
It is.
You've got this guy who's a visionary physician, and he creates this premier urgent care clinic.
And it sounds like he's built a real legacy.
Yeah, like a trusted healthcare institution.
Yeah. And that's something that's so important. When it comes to healthcare, you want to be able to trust the people who are taking care of you.
Right.
Yeah.
And the patients feel that. They feel like they're in capable, caring hands.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And, he talks about wanting to provide top-tier medical care with compassion, innovation, and the true spirit of Aloha.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
It's like...
It really captures the whole feeling of what they're trying to do.
It does. Building a healthier, happier community, one patient at a time.
Yeah.
So it's more than just a clinic, right? It's like this whole approach to healthcare.
Yeah, it's like a philosophy.
Yeah, and I think what's really interesting is that it's a great example of how a clear vision, dedication, and a focus on the patient experience can really make a difference.
Yeah, it's really inspiring.
Yeah, and I think it makes you wonder, what other industries could benefit from this kind of approach?
That's a good question.
Where else could we see this emphasis on accessibility and empathy?
Right. How could we apply these principles to other areas of our lives?
Yeah, what would happen if we took this kind of patient-centric approach and applied it to, education or government or even just our personal relationships? Yeah. I think it's something worth thinking about.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
It's food for thought.
It is.